Hello people, my name is Mohit, and guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a menu bar in Flash Pro CS 5.5 only with the help of Actionscript. Guys, right now what you see in front of you is the Flash stage, the size of which is 550 by 400 pixels. The stage color has been set to a #33333, right? And if I go inside the library, I just have one button component, and apart from that there's nothing on the stage or the library. But if I actually hit Control Enter on my keyboard to test the movie, we'll find that we have a menu bar which is functional. Let me show it to you. So in a nutshell, we are going to create a menu bar only through Actionscript, completely through Actionscript. Alright, so I'm gonna hit Control Enter to test the movie, and guys, as you can see out here, I have 3 buttons which say pick 1, pick 2 and pick 3. okay, and if I click on the pick 1 button, it will take me to my own website, which is qualitytraining.net. that's my website. And guys, on that website, I would like to show, now that I'm on the website, I would like to show you this download section. Guys, if you happen to visit the website, please go through the projects that you can easily download out here. Alright, you will come across certain very useful projects, something like a Flash cuckoo clock, or a dancing disco letters, or this one is my favorite, Flash picture gallery, with each picture using its own preloader using the UI loader component. Okay, and this one as well, creating a play stop sound toggle button with minimal Actionscript. So you'll find some very useful projects out here. Alright, so guys, these buttons were created purely through Actionscript. Okay, and the labels were given with the help of Actionscript only, as well as the hyperlinking, by which I mean when you press on any of these buttons, it takes you to a URL. Now that was done through Actionscript as well. Right, so guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to a new project, completely new project, and I'm going to build it on it from scratch. Okay, so I'm happy to keep the width 550, the height 400. Let me just change the background color to a #33333. Alright, let me say OK. And guys, the first thing that I would want to do is I would like to go to Window, go to Components, and before I can actually start coding, guys, I need to drop this button component inside the library. Okay, let me close it up, and let me call layer 1 as AS3, and that's all that we need as far as layers is concerned. We don't need to do anything on the stage or in the library after having placed the button component out there. Purely Actionscript that we need to fire the menu bar up. Okay, so I'm going to right click and coding time, guys. I'm going to first create a loop. I need a loop to create 3 buttons, guys. So I'm going to say for variable, I'm creating a for loop, guys, that'll loop 3 times. But if you need more buttons, you need to loop it many more times. So variable I, which is the iterator, and I'm going to make it equal to 1, and I'm going to make the loop run as long as I is less than 4. That's 3 times. Okay, so as long as I is less than 4, please run the loop, and after every loop please increment I. Okay, that's the way you write the for loop. Irritating. And then we have the curly braces, and inside the curly braces I need to write my code. So it goes like this. I need to create a variable, guys, to hold my button. So I'm going to say variable my button of the type button. Alright, space equals space new button. Cool. Now basically I'll be creating buttons only through the Actionscript, guys, only through the Actionscript. Okay, and the next thing that I would want to do is I would need to give labels to the buttons. So I'm gonna say if, and let me create the envelope. I like to call it the envelope. It's my custom made word with the structure. That is what I mean by that. You will soon see what I mean by that. Right, let me get the structure for the if conditional ready. Okay, so if I is equal to 1, so basically when the loop runs for the first time, I should be 1, guys, isn't it? Then what I would want to happen is I would want my button dot label to be equal to, let's say, which is my website, which is quality lessons. Alright, in fact what I'll do is let me get rid of lines 7 and 8. Let me copy the entire line number 6. Let me paste it out here and out here. Okay, and then let me change this. Let me, if the loop runs the second time, I should be 2. That time I would want the label to change. I would want the label to be let's say Adobe rather Flash Lessons. Okay, right, and if the iterator or the I is 3, okay, that will happen once the looping happens the third time. I would want the label for the button to be let's say Adobe Lessons. Okay, and then guys, since I've given labels to the buttons, I would like to give them names as well. Okay, now giving them names is very similar to giving them instance names. Once you give the buttons names, guys, you can actually reference them. Okay, so labels are just labels, guys. Labels are what will appear on the button that you will see, but the names are like instance names, and we will need them. So you know, in this action script we'll need them, and we'll see how. So I'm gonna say my button dot name, it's my button, okay, dot name. Using the name property, I'm gonna make it equal to btn plus I. Okay, so guys, I will be either 1, 2 or 3, and if you add it to btn, the name for the button, my button, will be either btn 1, 2 or 3, btn 1, btn 2 or btn 3. Right, so guys, so far I've given my 3 buttons labels, and I've also given them names. Right, so I don't think you know what will happen now. If I run the script, it'll not give me an error, but it'll not show up the buttons. I need to do something else. Let me first, I need to use the add child method, guys, to make it show up on the display list or make it display. I need to use the add child method, but first let me create a variable. Let me call it num1, and let me make it equal to 75. We'll soon see why. Okay, I'm gonna say add child and in brackets I need to say my button. Of course we need to add the 3 buttons onto the stage now, so that's my button. Right, and then guys, I need to move all these 3 buttons at the right places. Otherwise what will happen if I just use the add child method, they will be tucked on top of each other. Let me show you what I mean. Let me actually run the script now. So guys, as you can see, all the 3 buttons have been tucked on top of each other. That is not what we want. We want them to be at different spots, different places on the stage. So I'm going to move them, and I'll use the move method. So I'm going to say my button dot move. Okay, and after that I need to pass in 2 parameters, guys. The first is the x coordinate, the second one is the y coordinate. So as far as the x coordinate, I'm going to make it equal to let's say 50, and as far as the the other coordinate, the y coordinate, is concerned, I'm going to make it equal to num1, which is 75, which was declared in line number 2, guys, out here. Okay, so I'm going to make that num1, which I'm going to keep the same for all the buttons. So alright, and then out here I'm going to say num1 plus is equal to 150. Right, so what will happen every time the loop is run, the buttons are placed 150 pixels away from each other. In fact, let me test and you will understand what I mean. So control enter on the keyboard, guys, and you see what has happened. The three buttons, quality lessons, flash and Adobe lessons, have been separated, but this is not the way I actually wanted it. Give me a minute. I wanted num1 to be the X. Give me a minute. Right, and for the Y I wanted for the Y I wanted 50. Yeah, that makes more sense. Let me test now. Alright, that is what I was actually looking to do. So now guys, what's happened is all these three buttons have their respective labels: quality lessons, flash lessons and Adobe lessons. They've been generated, they've been produced only through Actionscript, and they have their own names. The names that we have given to them is, it's very similar to the instance name. They're not exactly instance name, but they're names, and we can use the names to reference these buttons, guys. So quality lessons is the name for this button, and the name for this button is BTN1. The name for this button is BTN2 and BTN3 for this button, because out here I've said my button dot name is BTN plus I, and I is either 1, 2 or 3. Cool. Now I'll show you what was the need for me to create names. When we create names, guys, we can use them just like instance names, and let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna say this dot get child by, so I'm gonna use the get child by name method, okay, and then it's gonna ask for the name, and let's say BTN1. So that's referencing the first button, guys. That's referencing this button, quality lessons, right? Because the name for that button is BTN1 through because of line number 10, guys. So I'm gonna get hold of this button, which is BTN1, the name for which is BTN1, and then I'm gonna add an event listener to it. So add event listener, and then I'm gonna say mouse event, beg your pardon, dot click, okay, and I need to create a function. Let me call it click handler, right? Excuse my throat, guys. And then the function click handler is gonna do something. Basically I'll make it navigate to URL, and we'll soon see that. So function click handler will go like this. It'll be event colon mouse event. We need to pass in the event in the parents. That's the format, guys, okay, and I need to say colon void, since this function does not calculate and return a value. Alright, and then inside the function, guys, oh, that's an event, and now it turns blue. Alright, and inside the function, guys, I'm gonna use the navigate to URL method. So I'm gonna say navigate to camel casing URL turns blue. All good. Navigate to URL, and then I need to put the opening brace or the opening parent. Alright, and then I need to say new URL request, okay, then I need to have another bracket, and then I need to pass in the URL. So the URL inside the strings will be http // quality lessons net, right? Okay, and a comma out here, and in the curly braces I'm gonna say self. Basically I would want the window to open on the same page and not on a blank page. The other variation is underscore self blank, guys, instead of self. Okay, and I'm happy to keep it self. And then guys, let me close this parent out here, and that should be it. I think there should be no errors now. There are none. Okay, let me test. So if somebody clicks on BTN1, they should go to my website qualitylessons.net. Let's try that. So Control Enter on the keyboard, guys, to test. Alright, so I'm gonna hit the Quality Lessons button now, and very soon, yes, I'm on my website qualitylessons.net, and guys, please do visit the downloads page. It has a lot of useful stuff, a lot of useful projects. Anyways, let me go back. Okay. Similarly, I'm gonna make similar functions for the other buttons. So let me do a copy and a paste out here, hit enter, and say copy and a paste out here once again. So instead of BTN1, I'm gonna say BTN2. So whichever button has the name BTN2, I'm gonna use the get child by name method. Alright, now click handler becomes click handler 1. This also becomes click handler rather. This is BTN yeah, this is BTN2, and this is click handler 1. Okay, this should be BTN3, and this should be click handler 2. I cannot use the same function name, guys, over and over again. So if this is click handler 2, the function name out here should be click handler 2 as well. Okay, the buttons have been named BTN1, BTN2, and BTN3. Alright, and the website should change as well. So for the second button, I would want the, let's say, the URL request to be my other website, which is flashlessons.info. And similarly, guys, I can change the URL for the third button as well, but I'm leaving it as it is. Alright, I'm leaving it just the way it is. Alright, so testing time, guys. If everything is fine, it should work perfectly. So Control Enter on the keyboard, guys, no errors at all. When I press Quality Lessons, it takes me to my website. If I press Flash Lessons, it takes me to my other website. Alright, anyways, it'll come up in a minute. And if I press on Adobe Lessons, it again takes me to qualitylessons.net. Okay, so guys, this is how I made these three buttons, made them act like hyperlinks. Okay, so if I click on these buttons, guys, you can see the blue background for the button, which really looks very nice. Okay, so guys, it's a very simple menu which just has three buttons, but my main aim was not to make an aesthetic menu bar, but to just show you how you can use Actionscript only to make these buttons, Actionscript only to create labels, and Actionscript only to use the navigate to URL methods to go to a specific URL. And guys, there's still nothing on the stage, and there's still nothing in the library except the button component that we always needed. So everything was just done purely through Actionscript, guys. So we had used the looping out here. Alright, we'd used the loop, the for loop. Okay, we had used the if conditional, and we'd used the event listeners. We used the get child by name method, very useful, guys. Okay, and we use the mouse event of the type click. So guys, there was a lot to learn in this tutorial, I hope. So I hope you learned something from it. I hope you enjoyed it too, and I'll see you very soon with yet another Flash and Actionscript 3 tutorial. And it's high time I did something for Dreamweaver as well. So see you very soon, guys. You have a good time. Bye bye. Peace.